Hey, ladies and gentlemen, folks watching on whatever platform you're watching on, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. This is Unpopular Review. This is the NXT Review Show. There's a lot to talk about on NXT. This is the aftermath of Vengence Day. As you can see on our cover, we have one guy who is not an NXT superstar. He is a TNA guy. We had Moose make an appearance. Obafemi calling out the guys who jumped him. We had Fatal Influence in the main event, or what I would like to say, JC Jane in the main event against Jordynne Grace, Giulia, and Stephanie Vaquer. We're going to talk about all the stuff going on in NXT. We're going to take down this graphic. It's a fantastic graphic. Usually we are a trio, but Frecklesensei, he took the night off. We will see him next week. But you got your NXT duel. I'm one of your hosts, the Great Grand Slam Pooba, and I'm joined with Sabrina Estella. Sabrina Estella, how the heck are you?
Well, the Adam Cole to my Kyle O'Reilly, because during our personal chat, I basically said we are the undisputed era of the Unpopular Review Show, and I said, I'm Kyle O'Reilly. The Great Grand Slam Pooba said he is Adam Cole, and
boom!
That he would like to be Bobby Fish, which I was surprised because when I saw him in an MLW episode not that far back, I was like, what the hell happened to Bobby? He looked like he let himself go. He looks older than his age, which is bad because a lot of wrestlers now that are probably older than him or around his age look younger, which ain't good. But I'm fine. The show was good. It was a good show, and we would have reviewed NXT Vengence Day, but when I got home after being out, I was exhausted. I fell asleep, and I didn't watch the pay-per-view until Sunday night, and I will say I very much enjoyed it. There wasn't a bad match, and it was a great, great pay-per-view before we get Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here. And we're going to talk about that too. We got said, we want to say, give a shout out to everyone in the chat. We see you, George Samuel Lewis. I already saw before we started the show, I was telling Sabrina Estella that you were already starting with me. And it's awful. We also got Jeffrey in the chat. It's always great to see you, my friend. Said, he says, Ricky Saint. We're going to talk about that. And I was surprised by this. This was more of a headline than anything.
Everybody in the universe was surprised by this.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's George, but we have the executive consultant. He's the first one in the chat. He says, hello, everyone. NXT was fantastic tonight. And Matt Maddox.
Because sometimes he would say NXT was not so great, that he felt like he had to sleep or that he needed to talk about it with a therapist. Although now I think he says that more towards the rival company that is becoming the number 4 of as far as like big wrestling companies that put their stuff either on TV or the internet. But
number 4. Number 4, that's a big drop. So wait,
well, I mean, have you seen how it's been going since Cody Rhodes and Brandy left? It hasn't been that great.
It's been a while. It's I mean, I know they had a show on Saturday. They were in a small arena. I didn't make a bigger deal about the ring being so small until everyone kept mentioning it. I was like, oh, that ring is small.
Which isn't bad. I mean,
it isn't.
There are some coaches that have their students practice on a smaller ring so they can get used to that in case they work shows that they have to work a smaller ring.
This is true. Do you want to open up with the first segment? There was a lot of things that happened on Vengence Day. I don't have the card in front of me, but maybe we can run through it throughout the show. But you want to open up with the tonight's show?
Well, they showed a little bit of what had happened on Vengence Day, and we get recapped from it with Obafemi retaining against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory with the men that attacked him, just like they had attacked Fraxium earlier in their tag match against Briggs and Inamura. We also had the Fatal 4-Way for the women's belts, the Women's North American Championship match, as well as the strap match with Eddie Thorpe versus Trick Williams, and the Javon Evans versus Ethan Page Part 5 million at that PLE pay-per-view with Javon's face not being 100%, but he still went out anyways and did it, even though they said he was medically cleared.
Right.
I still buy it. And all I say is when he lost that match, I was like, that boy should have rolled over to where that mouth guard was at and quickly snatched it up before Ethan Page could have stomped on it or something.
I gotta say real quick, I was actually surprised. I thought I had Javon going over, so Ethan won, which cool. But I was really surprised when Trick lost to
Eddie, which we get.
yeah.
But I guess they wanted to build some momentum for Eddie. I think they feel like he's one of their like now becoming a bigger heel character, which isn't bad. Someone in our chat was less than pleased with the fact that they're pushing him a bit more. But hey, maybe they feel like he's doing better, so they're going to give him a bit of a push.
You know, I was talking to Sawyer about this. So I'm not big on Eddie, but with him making this turn, he has to get some momentum going. He just turned heel. If he had lost, he would have became like the villain of the week. So if you really want to make this heel turn to mean something, you got to get a win. And getting a win on a former 2-time NXT champion and having everyone go like, whoa, like there's a picture of a guy. I don't have it here, but there's a picture of him. And he's just like this.
We didn't get Trick Williams whooping that Trick with the leather strap, but we definitely got Eddie Thorpe whipping that Trick on Trick Williams that night.
Some people will say it was tricky. I'm very proud of that joke, and I'm standing by it. And I'm very upset. I ain't put enough honey in this tea, so I'm very upset. So this might be a very bad episode on my end. But let's go. Let's do this.
First things first, we have Obafemi. He's not wasting no time. He's walking into the NXT arena, and he literally told everybody to start his music and to just play it, and he keeps walking towards the ring. And he's on the mic, and he's talking, and he says, those 4 fools that jumped in that day, they made one fatal mistake, that they didn't finish the job. They hit him with their best shot. He's still here. He asked them to come to the ring and finish what they started. But what we get is one of the biggest swerves of the night, no pun intended. And we got the showdown that everybody and their mamas have been wanting.
Yeah.
The X Division champion Moose, which I didn't recognize at first because of what he was wearing, because I'm not used to seeing him dressed like that. When I would see bits of TNA with him being in the system, but I get it, got dressed nice. And he says to Obafemi that he is the one man that you can't run over. Moose says, Oba says that Moose is the man in his bubble, but here he is inevitable, and Moose wants a match between the two of them, which he has said before. And so Obafemi says he's going to make it happen as they hold the titles while they stare each other down.
I thought this was cool. I wasn't expecting Moose to be out. So when he came out, and I like what Jeffrey's saying here. He said he loved how they introduced Moose. It made you think it was a group with the lighting. I'd be honest, I thought it was that group that attacked him. And because I wasn't familiar with the music until they started doing like, you know how they go Moose, and then they zoomed in, and I find this picture hilarious. I mean, it's in our graphic, but this picture right here of Moose, because he looked very shocked to be here. He looked
different. I thought it was maybe some WWE legend that came in for the night or something, or maybe someone that's big in TNA that came in to challenge Oa for that championship, which it was. We just didn't recognize who it was. And I can't say that it was the system that attacked, because as far as I know, it's Moose, JDC, Brian Myers, and Alicia. I don't know.
Isn't her husband a part of that group too? I thought he was a part of that group. The husband. I thought he was. I'm not too sure. I'm not super familiar. Yeah. I thought he was a part of it.
But I don't think it's them, because it didn't look like them.
No, this was a different group.
I saw 2 men of color in that group, and as far as I know, the system only has one, and his name is Moose, and he does not have no job. You
know, I was getting, because I missed this. I missed the faction. The show live, and talking about Vengence Day, and I was watching clips as I was out, and I was sitting there saying, I saw people say Retribution is back, and I was like, are they?
We don't need another Retribution. We do not.
No, we don't.
It was not the best.
We got said, he says, bang or bust on Dion Lennox new faction. What's his new faction? Am I missing something?
This faction, then it's definitely going to be a hell of a faction that'll be dominating. If it's not Dion Lennox, then we'll just see who it is when the time is right and they choose to reveal themselves.
There was one guy who revealed himself, because I was on Twitter, I was zooming, and someone said who's the next victim. I know a lot of people knows who some of these people are. I have no idea who these people are at all I know is that they beat people up. We're going to talk about Ricky a little bit later because he had me laughing when he said this place is dangerous. He has no freaking idea, like, at all.
Well, I mean, look where he was working for a while before he got to be here.
It's a lot of nerve, right? A lot of nerve. Well, you got to forgive Ricky because Ricky right about now, he's freed from the shackles from one Tony Khan because Ray Phoenix,
the king of petty in the world of professional wrestling named Tony Khan.
He was shackled downstairs with Ray Phoenix in the basement, and he found the key, and he told Ray Phoenix, I'll come back for you later. Ray Phoenix is still waiting for Ricky to come back.
Ray Phoenix is still waiting for that key from Ricky. He's waiting for that key from Penta. He's waiting for that key from anybody that was in AEW to bring him over here and to free him.
Oh, you like it? Miss Thug, she likes the chip mug. Yes, it's got it from Five Below. I'm not sponsored by them yet, but sooner or later.
He's not, but he wishes he was, and I don't blame him. There it is.
I got this from Five Below as well. Yes, I'm happy. Moose versus Oba, very happy. Yeah, and, I think it's cool that he's actually going to be doing some stuff because he runs into Alexis King later on, and
we'll discuss that.
And we will discuss that, but he's going to defend that title next week. Dion Lennox I didn't realize that he gave up the books to go into the streets because it was a book guy. What are we talking about? Really?
I don't know if he necessarily gave it up, but I think he's also going to use his book smarts to add to some street smarts and whoop some ass.
I've watched a lot of those don't do crime shows or things in the 90s, and there would be that kid who was once a football player, a jock, and was meant to do something with his life, but then ran into the thing called the gang war, and then they started doing stuff like bad things. And that's what Lennox Dion is, and I'm very disappointed because I thought he would know, say no, stay in school. I don't remember what the catchphrase was.
They know the joke.
I wish someone told me that 2 years ago. We got here what we have going on here. Check out my comment about the NXT stars. Yes, I saw who you put in there, George. I didn't see no JC James, so that was very upsetting. But he says that the NXT stars in WWE 2K25 is Charles Dempsey, Eddie Thorpe, Ethan Page, Jakara Jackson, Jadia Parker, Javon Evans, Kelani Jordan, Lash Legend, Lexus King, Lola Vice. I did see Lola Vice's model. I thought it actually looked really good. Obafemi, Ora Mensa, Shawn Spears, and that's the only one. And Tatum Paxley. So good stuff. Good stuff. We did see the model of
Kelani.
Yeah. Good. It looked good because sometimes you can really get that. You get the just look at the models that they did. I think it was 2K20, and they messed up Randy Orton. And 2023, they messed up Bailey, or was it 2024? I forget which year. And Bailey even said, "Help me." So yeah, I thought these models.
I believe it was 2023 or 2024 where they messed her up with the look that they gave her, and Bailey was like, "Help me!" Every women's wrestling fan that was waiting for the reveal of the models were like, "What did y'all do to Bailey?" Just like they say the same thing with people with the gears. If it's the same thing, like, why do y'all give Carmella the same gear? Why did you give Natalya the same gear that she wore a couple of years back and not change it, which they did this year?
Right.
As long as you don't give Trish that same silver outfit that she's worn before, that they always put her in 2K, I think everybody in the WWE women's wrestling.
Oh, I know that silver outfit that you're talking about. That's like that throwback outfit.
Yes,
outfit.
but the women's wrestling fans have seen enough of it when it comes to reveals, and they're tired of it.
Well, you know what's the beauty?
They can change Trish.
I was gonna say, the beauty is now with these 2K games, you can actually change the costume.
You can, but sometimes you just want to see what you're gonna do with the person's the character for, and you don't just want to see them put the same thing. It's like with Maurice. They hadn't changed her characters looking God knows how long. They could have put her in the look that she wore when she fought with her husband versus the Grit couple and Beth Phoenix and Copeland.
There we go. Says Dion gave up hanging with Brinley Reese backstage. It looks that way. JC Jane is yes. I'm already booking my universe mode.
If she wasn't put in as part of the NXT stars, they already put her in 2K. Starting either last year or the year prior, so they wouldn't need to put her in as an NXT star because she's already been put in the game.
Absolutely. George says, they changed up Trish Stratus.
Thank goodness.
And Elvis says, "How much did you two wonderful people miss me?" So we're gonna move forward because I don't care about you. So what
And
do
I
we have
thought
going?
about you, so
Yeah, you know, like, look, I'm glad that you're here, Elvis. Shout out to Elvis. He ran for mayor, but he couldn't run too far because people under 4'2" don't have the stamina because they get tired quickly. You get it? Because they have small legs. I'm proud of that, Joe. Moving on. Let's go.
but we have Eddie Thorpe talking to Ava, saying how like he beat Trick, that he's basically had one of the biggest matches of his career and that he's won, and that he deserves a title match. And Ava said, "You had chance after chance after chance after chance, and you failed." Mm-hmm. So, and I'm not going to give you. And just as she's about to really tell him that she ain't going to give it to him, Kale Dixon and Uriah Connors roll up to present an invitation for Ava for a post-show house party. And they try to get Eddie Thorpe to be the DJ, since that was his gimmick once upon a time ago. And he's like, HE double hockey sticks, no.
Oh, we can still say how.
Apparently we can't, because it's not PG enough.
Oh, no, we can say hell. We'll talk backstage, but we can say hell. I promise you, because I'm going to be saying hell a lot. Because I'm going to say, what the hell?
We're going to need a list of approved words and words that we cannot stand here, because now Unpopular Review is going into their PG areas, or PG era. So we might not be able to swear as much as we could. So we're going to have to get creative with it. But anyways, he said, Eddie said that Andre Chase will ruin their lives because they're trying to bring him back.
Thank
up.
You!
I knew you were going to be happy with that. Trying to hype him back up, trying to bring back the university that was once around that was closed down. And that they believe that Mr. Chase could beat Eddie Thorpe no problem, and they challenge him for Andre Chase in his place, which I can't say was the best idea, but Ava seemed fine with it.
Yeah, Ava doesn't care about her job, because how are these two people going to talk for a guy who's not even there? Look, I don't care about Andre Chase. I enjoy the misery that's going on with Chase of the Andres. So good stuff here. Now, look, I don't really buy into Eddie Thorpe. He just doesn't do it for me. But I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was seeing all this, I said, "All right, Eddie. You know what? I would like to say for him to be a DJ for anything, but I just don't like loud noises. It's too loud for me. So I don't really like the whole DJ stuff, but I enjoyed that he said what he said about Andre. He called out Andre for what he is, and it's about time that the rest of you guys knew that. And yes, I'm holding a drumstick. Jeffrey's not the only one good with drums. Voila. What do we have next?
So we had our first match of the night, which was the NXT Women's North American Championship #1 Contenders match with Jadia Parker versus Karmen Petrovic versus Kelani Jordan, which I will say definitely made a couple people in our UPR family very happy, because we know how much they love their Black Girl Magic and how a couple of them enjoy watching Karmen on screen. And the match was good. They all had good chemistry together. I'm just going to say one thing. The winner of the match, I'm not mad at. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with Karmen being the winner. However, I do not like how they're writing this woman, making it seem like she's a love-struck puppy and now she can't do anything or win a match without having her man in her corner. And I had heard what they were saying commentary. I believe Corey said, like, what is his business with her? Is he's not her manager, he's not her valet or anything. Like, what is he doing out here? And what I don't like is that Vic keeps saying, you don't mix business with pleasure. I'm like, you're not one to talk. Your wife was in the WWE. You got married to her. You worked with her there. Corey's not one to talk because he met his wife while they were working together while he was still married and got divorced and got with her. And Vic's also not one to talk, even though he didn't say anything about it, because he met his wife there and they got married and they worked together until she was let go. So whenever Booker T says, you don't mix business with pleasure, I'm like, you are really not the one to talk.
I thought this match was cool. I thought these women put on their working boots and they did some great things. I thought Karmen would get the W here. I mean, you have Jada and you have Kelani. They're in their rivalry, their feud, and they're going to cancel each other out. I do want to give flowers to one Ashanti the Adonis because, I mean, you guys want me to dislike this guy, but he was a really good boyfriend. Like, his girl was hurt, rolled out the ring. Jada and Kelani had beaten the hell out of each other. And when he saw the timers right, he put his flower in the ring. She rolled up. Now, let me tell you guys something. Before all this, was Karmen getting any wins here? No.
Yeah,
that was not. I mean, it's like the Atlantic Braves. Yeah, they win sometimes, but does anyone even really count that? Please.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
But I have to say that they were saying that somebody said that like it's because of Ashanti or giving him all the credit that she's getting that she's
no.
Like that's not completely true. And even someone else said it. That's not true. Don't give all the credit to Ashanti.
Not all the credit, but when he saw that when the time was right, he it was good ring awareness. And that's when he put his girl in there, and that's when she was getting the dub. And now she's getting a matter of fact, she would not be in this match if it wasn't for Ashanti the Adonis. He got her in there. Good job. I love when the guys are the good guys. So yes, but Karmen gets this dub. But we
get.
I loved all of this.
Influence beating her down.
This was great.
And then we also get Ashanti getting hit in the back in the chair by JC.
Good. I cheered for that.
See that this one was so happy to see, considering how much he's all about love for Ashanti and Karmen. I was just like,
I wrote you in the comments. I wrote you in the chat. I said I am weak. Anything JC does, I'm just for. Like I have no problem saying that. I'm by. Like the only person she could never attack where things will hit. If she hit Bret Hart, that's it. It's over.
Well, I mean, Bret Hart hasn't been in a WWE area for a very long time.
Now, the last time he was in the ring, Gunther disrespected the Hitman Hart, and that was very rude. And I can't wait until his reign is over. But I do respect Gunther.
Well, we're gonna get
he was rude,
and the era of Heat will happen at WrestleMania.
And I'm not gonna hold you as a mid 30-year-old guy. And when everyone said, "Yeah, I'm yeeting," I'm like, it's not for me, guys. I'm sorry, it's just not for me. But shout out to Jeff.
It's often, but when it is appropriate to say so, I will. But we do get Giulia and Stephanie coming in to help, and they try to beat them all down. But unfortunately, they aren't successful against the three of them until Jordan comes in and helps them out and beats them.
Who is this girl? Where did she even come from? Why is she here? No, why is she interfering? I know you guys get annoyed with me, but I know you guys come to hear me yell because why was she interfering in JC James' business? What? But don't you have leg day to do? Don't you have to move a building? Oh, it was just I was immediately
not bodybuilding, but I just want to say
I started shadow boxing when I saw this.
I just have to say, what in God's green earth were they doing when they gave Jordynne Grace that top to wear? Because first of all, if they don't have anything underneath it to help support her girls, there is some people that could probably see on their camera the side boob moment that was peeping out when she was walking out. And I was thinking, I just hope nothing pops out because we do not need NXT to get an XXXT.
I see what you did there. And Mike would probably sue him because he says he's the only one with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Real quick, let's get to these comments real quick and we'll move on. Matter of fact,
into a 6-woman tag match that we got as our main event later tonight. So we started with women's wrestling and we are ending with women's wrestling on NXT.
Can I just throw in that JC Jane was in the main event again? I mean, how many main events has this woman got? It's fantastic. But George, he says, Jeffrey, yes, this is the Kelani Jordan I want to see. I think that's because Jeffrey talked about the curls. She's a pretty girl. Got said, I love the beatdown Fatal Influence put on Karmen. Me too. They whooped on Karmen for 10 minutes. It really was like, it was the whole freaking commercial, dude. Like, and that cracked me up. I love the chair shot to Adonis. Yeah, and I feel so bad because Adonis is like really telling him like, "Yo, chill," because he's not going to put his hands on these girls.
I give him props for not putting his hands on no woman. He got props for me on that.
George. I'm mixing you up, Jeffrey. I apologize, but Jeffrey goes, "This couple is not going to last." You don't know that they might have a wrestling wedding, and because of this, you're not invited.
Just hope that Nikita Lyons doesn't come to stir the pot at that wedding because she's bored.
How can they get the pot into the ring? I'm proud of that joke, no matter what. Karmen is not going to win because Stephanie is going to. It's not for her to win. I mean, this is just give Stephanie an opponent. So, I mean, and it didn't matter who would have won that. They would, no matter who would have won, they would have lost to Stephanie because there's no way she's losing in her first title defense. But go ahead. I'm sorry, madam.
Stephanie made history. She is the first South American wrestler in WWE to win a championship belt. They're not going to take that away from her so damn soon.
I wish George refrained from using my catchphrase. Next time you do it, I'm going to sue you. Just like the big girl that sued Uber. You're going down. Jeffrey laughed, said, I want to make sure I got this. Is he saying Bret Hart is better than Shawn? Because I failed at math. He's saying Bret is better?
Yes.
Said, you beautiful, beautiful man. I love
If it went the other way, if it was like this, then you could have been mad because he would have been saying that Bret was worse.
I kid you not. When I was in school and I did this, I said, why am I drawing Pac-Man? I was so mad. We got the Juggernaut. Yes, she is the Juggernaut. Two of my faves, Jordynne Grace, Big Mama Pump. You know what I'm actually surprised by, if I could say this? That she was able to take her TNA music. I know that they still have a partnership with them, but with her now being in WWE, I thought she would have had like a whole nother theme. So I just
listen. That Rebel should not touch some of these people's music.
No, they shouldn't.
A few of his intro songs have been fine, but some of them have been.
Jeffrey,
bad.
That's a good cleanup. Sabrina, Estella. Hey, don't be jealous. Jordynne Grace looked good.
Listen, nobody is jealous of Jordynne Grace and how pretty she looks. I'm just saying some of the shirts, if you don't have the proper support for girls that have big enough girls, something might pop out and it will be an R-rated program, which we don't need on the CW.
Good Chris in the chat. He wanted to tell us that we were both looking very, very beautiful. So we thank you for that, good Chris in the chat. We got Jeffrey said, tell him, Jack. He's been using my catchphrase too. Yeah, get your own creative ideas, George. Go to Michael's and get some creativity. That's a store, in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Oh! I want everyone. I'm sorry. Can I have like 2 minutes here? So this is my nephew. I said, I don't think you would come on this show and disrespect me, but he did. Young man, I'm glad that you did this. This is fantastic because I'm going to send this to your grandmother, and I want you and her to know that I'm going to stretch you after I'm done with this episode. So everyone says hi to the young man because you'll never see him again. And no, that's not murder. It's just me, and I'm going to beat him up because that's what uncles do. I could do whatever I want. Oh, okay. So George is a rule breaker. He don't believe in the rules. He's one of them break the rules kind of guy. Jordan actually owns her theme. I didn't know that. That's interesting. You're laughing at my nephew. Big head Jack thinks he knows though. Okay, that's cute. Not Michael. See, I'm glad someone know what Michael's is. Don't laugh at him.
I know Michael's is too, so I haven't gone that.
Not grandma. I am telling grandma. Jacob Brown, I agree with you. You disagree with anything. You lack a mind of your own, George. That's what I'm aware of. And I know we're gonna win Rivalry of the Year, but but when I win it, because you're not gonna be on stage with me, I just want you to know it's just gonna be my award, not yours, because I carried this feud. Because that's what I do. What's the next thing going on? Because my blood pressure is just going skyrocket through the roof. Got my nephew disrespecting me. I got George with the sweater blinding me. What else do we got here?
And speaking of those whose blood pressure is running through the roof, we have Channing Stack's Lorenzo getting ready backstage for his match against Shawn Spears when Adriana Rizzo and Luca come up to him, make sure that he's okay, and they ask if Tony D even knows about what's happening. And he said he hasn't run it by him, but he's got to stand in his zone sometimes, so might be seeing a little something there.
Probably so. What we got? What we got next?
Well, we got the Meta Girls versus Sol Ruca and Zaria. So we had the executive consultant being happy, getting to see his number one on screen for a bit. And Match was good. I mean, I had no problems with it. The Meta Girls
Mhm.
work great together like they always do. They definitely made themselves to be a very prominent tag team in the NXT Women's Division, which someone bring some tag titles down to NXT since they're building a tag division. What are y'all doing? And Sol Ruca and Zaria, they worked well together, and I agreed with what they said on commentary. For Sol to just let Zaria do her own thing. Her own thing is what got eyes on her over working the indie scene. That's what brought her into NXT in the first place. She might be trying to share a little bit of her world and trying to get her to understand and like be able to work together better. But
Mhm.
sometimes you just gotta embrace both sides of the partnership.
I thought this was a fun match. Sol Ruca and Zaria, they just continue to impress. I think they're a really, really good team together. I was thinking about this as well too, because I was like, we had Giulia and we had Stephanie signed, and Zaria was like that other signing, and she had that match at what was it, Deadline. It was a good showing and stuff like that. But she's since kind of not even fell off, but kind of been pushed to the side. So I like that they paired her up with Sol Ruca so we could still see her on TV. And I was I don't know if the word is impressed, but I enjoyed this match. It was
I
great.
mean,
I
it's
mean,
the Beauty and the Beast kind of tag team we got going on here.
Beauty and the Beast. That's interesting.
Gee, I wonder why I said that.
Is it because of the cup?
Yes.
I really didn't like Beauty and the Beast. Like, I did like that one song where they said, "Let's kill the beast." Kind of like that. It was pretty fire. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this match. It was fine. It does make me go like. So here's my thing about the because I remember someone in the chat. I think it was Jeffrey that said this, but the NXT Women Tag Team titles, should they have gotten rid of it? No. I think the NXT brand would have been better with the belt. Now, the only thing is, I kind of don't want them to bring it back because I just feel like there's so many belts. After a while, I kind of get overwhelmed with all these belts. And we have these belts for a while, and it seemed like eventually they slowly fade and no one cares about it. So that's my only thing about if they had brought back those titles. But the way the NXT
The
Women
way they're
brand,
building the division now, it would
I would be
benefit
for it.
them to have it down there at least. Especially if they're trying to build some tag teams down there as well.
Let's get into the chat before we move on. I don't know who this individual is. I wanted to highlight because we highlighted his comments. I don't care about you now. We just talk about the show. Hey, Delvin, thank you for being here, and stay away from yellow snow. The very next person, we got George on my own person. We got Good Chris. He says no Roxanne, no Bailey, no Cora Jade. Yeah, they wasn't here.
Well, Bailey
Roxanne
and
was on
Cora
Raw.
are still recovering after Saturday, and Roxanne Perez was on Raw last night, defeating Raquel Rodriguez to ensure her spot in Elimination Chamber. Which Raquel Rodriguez needs to stop saying she's going to be Liv Morgan's insurance because it never works out for them when she says that. I mean, am I wrong? She's already said it twice and she's failed twice.
Who we talking about? I mean, not Roxanne. Who we talking about? I don't know where this guy is.
Raquel.
Oh, Raquel. She hasn't been on a win streak, right? So Zora got the win. Yes,
she's had some wins here and there, and most of it has also been tag wins with Liv.
And with Liv, right?
Yes.
What else we got here? I just wanted to highlight these comments so we're going to continue. I'm sorry, what was next? I was just highlighting the comments.
Well, after that, we get Wesley, Tyson, and Tyreek backstage. They're being interviewed with Sarah. And he has mentioned how NXT is completely unpredictable, and that falls perfectly into their hands. And then they're discussing a little bit about how they're used to it and all that. When Ricky Starks walks by, and Sarah's just like, zoop, doesn't even wait a second and just goes right towards him to chat. And he says that he knows that she has lots of questions and those are going to get answered in a few minutes. And you see Wesley getting all frustrated and upset. And you see him so close to going over there and punching Ricky Starks in the face for essentially interrupting his interview. And I was just like, somebody called it that could be a good start of rivalry for Ricky.
I feel like last week that was said. I mean, we were asked a question last week, and it was asked at us. Apologies, of who would be Ricky's first opponent, and someone in the chat said Wesley, and I was like, oh, that's a really good pick. we're going to talk a little bit more about it. But before we get to that, if it's all right with everybody here, we're going to play a quick commercial. We're going to be back. We're going to rewind, reset, and I'm sorry, let's get this commercial done. And we're going to talk more NXT. Jesus, these commercials are long. We're going to be talking more about NXT right after these.
The reason I interrupted your ass is because you called him a mope. How dare you call Gunther a mope? The man is great. He's fantastic. He's a good world champion.
No,
and
he's
I
not.
think it's
Gunther's fucking boring.
Thank you. Tell him, Willie.
Jey Uso, Gunther, World Championship WrestleMania. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I love this segment. Go ahead and hate.
You said it yourself right there. They don't want Cody Rhodes to look like an idiot, so they're going to put Gunther in the match to look like an idiot. This man is
Cody Rhodes is supposed to be your best babyface. He's not going to out babyface Jey Uso right now. Jey
boring. Gunther is boring. After the he says he's all hobbling. Jey Uso goes, I shouldn't have said this, but I'll pick you.
I thought he was going to say something controversial.
Yeah, I thought like when Pat McAfee calling him an what do you call him, an Austrian piece of garbage or some shit. Like I thought it was gonna be. I thought James was gonna end up saying something a whole lot worse. But I just hope they don't fuck the ball up and not give him the belt this time. Like I think that's gonna be the whole story though. You know, he came up short all this time. So now WrestleMania it's gonna be his chance. I think that's what they're gonna go with. But yeah, man, Gunther born as hell, man. La Ring General. Fuck.
He's born yet you're saying his catchphrase.
What'd you say?
He's boring yet you're saying his catchphrase.
I mean, because the catchphrase.
Just a second. He's boring yet you're saying his catchphrase.
Because the La Ring General, like that should.
It's what? You must like it.
No, I don't.
Just a second. If you didn't like it, why did you say it 2 or 3 times?
Because that's what
that's the only thing I know.
Just a second, Steven. All I want to know from Steven William David is if he did not like it, why he said it.
The only thing I remember about Gunther is La Ring.
That's all you remember? You don't remember putting your hands behind the back? You don't do that? You don't do that? Because I can see your ass doing that.
I honestly no, that's sorry. And these are my views and my views alone. This is a disclaimer before I say what I'm about to say. No, the hands behind my back was like a fucking Nazi salute. So I would never do that. I was never into Imperium. I'm sorry. Right. The imperialistic, I fuck them. But anyway, yeah.
Well, that was quite a comment by Steamy Willing Beaming on that episode of the Rated R review for Raw, which you can catch on Mondays after Raw goes off the air on Netflix. And we are back discussing all things NXT Tuesday and the with the undisputed duo of UPR with Sabrina, Estella, and the Great Grand Slam Poobah, aka the Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, the undisputed NXTrio, or the Michelle McCool and Layla.
You gotta be Michelle McCool because you got the height for that. I want to be Layla.
I thought you wanted to be Michelle. She's the one being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
No, you are the Hall of Famer, darling. So no, you are. I want to be the one who's Layla, and I want to sing the song. You're not enough for me.
I'm fine with that.
I don't sound like a dead cat singing that song. Now, I want to highlight this real quick. I want to highlight some things. Jeffrey, he said it was him that picked Wesley, and said it. I remember one of you guys saying it, but it was a great call nonetheless, and we're going to talk about it. Let's get into this comments real quick. Christopher, he's saying Roxanne's on Raw. We got here George too. Oh no, I don't know why I clicked that twice. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. I love this so much because you know, nephew, go to bed. Go to bed, nephew.
That's why he's doing this to you.
Nephew, no, I didn't think he was going to do it, but he's going to do it. Don't worry. I'm going to send you guys a video of me just hitting him with an abdominal stretch next week. And don't know what's called, what you call it? Willie, he said the Imperious. Willie says a lot of things.
He does say a lot. We love you, Willie.
But what do we have here? Because we were talking about
well, apparently
what we're saying.
I'm Adam Cole and you're Kyle O'Reilly, which I don't want to be Adam Cole. I want to be Kyle O'Reilly because he's my favorite of the Undisputed Era. I don't care what anybody says about him.
Kyle O'Reilly's great. He's fantastic. Matter of fact, when he was when they had that split from the Undisputed Era, before they blew up NXT and they went from the Golden Black to that Rainbow, I was thinking, like, oh yeah, Kyle O'Reilly's gonna get a run with that NXT Championship, but I was wrong. And I was down for that because I liked Kyle O'Reilly.
I was down for that too, but hell, his cage match that he had over there that I was there to be part of to watch in person was great. But we have Ava Raine making her entrance over to the ring to prepare for Ricky's contract signing, which the NXT Universe loves her because they were chanting for Ava. Mm-hmm. And then he makes his entrance. He says, he hasn't been here too long. NXT is amazing. And before he gets started, he wants to talk to us for a second because there are some things he wants to get off his chest. He talks about how people say getting into NXT is like dream, but it's reality. Standing here is reality. Main eventing every NXT PLE is a reality. Winning the NXT Championship is reality. And the absolute truth of it is that he is the man in NXT, and he's going to show up and show out because right now the revolution begins. He opens the contract. He's going to sign it, and then we get former co-worker in Ethan Page making it his entrance, which I was a little surprised because I was like, damn, they really having them go at it with each other so soon? But I'm not mad at it. And he says that he's impressed. He shocked the world by appearing in NXT, and now he's standing in the middle of the ring to sign his contract. Ethan to Ricky and I was like, you made a surprise to everybody as well when you attacked Trick Williams. When Lash thought that Trick Williams attacked Noam Dar. But he said, and he's guessing that somewhere in that contract is that his first match will be for a title, right? And that he calls him a genius for following the Ethan Page playbook to a T. As his friend, he wanted to come out here and tell him face to face that there's only one Ethan Page and that he's right there. I'm like, since when is Ricky trying to be you? I mean, he's the one that held the championship over in AEW, actually. But Ricky just says he's gotten his feelings and why. Does he know that there's only one room, that there's only room in the spotlight for one of them? That you wearing your insecurity as tight as that jacket? Ricky says he's going to take this place to another level. Ethan says he's not going to be able to touch the bar that he set for people coming into NXT. And he says now it's time for celebration. He's going to sign his contract. Ethan got to win over Javon Evans. Javon showed him that he's got that dog in him, and that the thing about people like that is that they always come around to whoop that ASS. And Ethan, that man walked himself out of the arena on Saturday night. He was a betting man, and then out of nowhere, Javon whoops that trick.
There we go.
On to the crowd. Ricky shrugs it off, and he's going to sign the contract. Wesley comes out, and he says he's giving him a pass for interrupting the interview earlier. And number one rule is you don't disrespect Wesley. He wants to be Ricky's first match. Ava says she can make it happen. And Ricky asks, is everyone around here always angry? And calls Wes and Ethan two peas in a pod, always talking about their limit. Challenges him to a match next week. And Wesley just tells him to sign and that it's one and done. And he tries to hit Ricky. But Ricky slaps the black off of him and clotheslines him out of the ring, and then
smack the black out of him. Stop it! Stop it! His black was still in contact. Please, it was a good slap, but it wasn't a slap like how Trick did.
I mean, he got slapped and then he got clotheslined out of the ring. All while the now newly named Ricky Saints signed his contract.
And I wondered,
what did they do to this man and why? But then it made sense when we discussed in the chat. The contract over there is still not fully over, so he has his name trademarked over there.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know if that's so true. I don't know all the details with this, but WWE has done this before. I like what someone put in on Twitter. They were talking about Walter, now Gunther, Sami Zayn. He was El Generico, Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, all these names, Prince Devitt, Finn Balor, they changed the name. And a lot of people were like, oh man, this is so terrible. Now, granted, I'll be the first to sit here and go like, yeah, it's going to take me some use to get into Ricky. What was it called? I'm sorry, it's not Ricky Stark. What's his new name?
Ricky Saints.
Ricky Saints. It's something to get used to. But he's going to be fine. I think some people, and I didn't see this.
He wasn't going to be fine. It's just Ricky.
It's not even towards, but that's not even towards you. It's not even towards you. It's about some people on the internet that takes this stuff literally to the next level of stuff. Like, oh my God, they're already destroying him. Oh my God, they don't know what they're doing with him. And it's like, long as Ricky can still be Ricky, he can still do that and still talk like how Ricky does and wrestle like how Ricky is. He's going to be fine because he cannot be denied. That's all I wanted to get at, because I just thought it was an interesting conversation, because I saw people Well, actually, no, I didn't see people, but I can't help but knowing how the wrestling bubble is, how some people are already losing their damn. I'm just gonna say they're losing their shit. He'll be fine, guys. Oh, I like this. Jeffrey pointing out Kaylee Ray, Alba Fire. Now, I don't think she's doing as well she was when she was in NXT UK, but that's another name change.
Well, I mean, they changed it so that way that they can have a name that they can like copyright, that they can own, that they can make money with, stuff like that.
Right, and they've done that plenty of times. Hideo Itami. Now, he didn't last long in WWE, but he made that transition from Kenta. I think these people know when they go and they sign with WWE, there's a good chance that they're not going to keep their names. God, there was some other names that I was thinking. Ethan Page, there's some people who get to keep their name, and I can't tell you why they do. Ethan Page kept his name.
It's really his real name anyway, so that's perfectly fine. That's his own name that he's used in the wrestling business for a while, even before getting signed. So
right, but someone like AJ Styles had his name longer. But someone like AJ had his name longer. Samoa Joe had his name longer. Nakamura, I don't know how long he's had that. I mean, I think that's his active birth name. Right, and that's fine, and I can't tell you why this person kept their name and this person didn't. But a lot of times I know WWE, they like to trademark names so they can own it. I forgot what Colt Cabana's name was at once upon a time when he was in WWE for that cup of coffee, and they changed his name. So like, it's really not like how Jeffrey's saying. I like it. I mean, he says Eve, but I know he's saying even. It's not even big of a deal. Let's highlight some comments before we move on. But hey, guys, you are watching Unpopular Review. This is the NXT Review Show with myself, Sabrina, Estella, Bad Guy Jack. We talk the NXT. If you're watching on Facebook, hit that like button. Hit that. Well, it's not just a like button. It's hit that emotion button. I don't even know what the hell you call that stuff on Facebook anymore. But hit the like, hit the heart, all that stuff. Share it in your wrestling group chats. If you're on YouTube, share. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification button so you'll know when we are live. If you are on Twitter, hi, how are you? You should come to the YouTube because then we can actually see your comments. Although I saw Mad Dog, so I can't really say that. But it'd be nice if you come to the YouTube, chat with us about some NXT. And if you're on Twitch, thank you.
Say hi. Stop by and say hi.
Thank you. Say hi. Real quick, we got here. Right, we mixed that up. We got to get to this. Calorite with the guitar solo. That was fantastic. Adam Cole with BJ. Who's this Delvin Butts guy? I don't even know who this guy is. And I feel attacked by
it. But it's just
listen, Delvin Butts. I don't know why you're starting with me. I have no idea who you are. I want to say thank you for being here, Delvin Butts, and I appreciate you for being here. Hit that like button. Ava looks good tonight. We got, can Ricky sign his contract in peace in NXT? Absolutely not.
WWE really ever happen in peace? One of the only few times anything ever happened in peace was in NXT when they started 2.0 was Index's wedding.
Jesus. This Delvin guy, he said Ricky Starks would beat Obafemi. Absolutely not. I don't see that as a.
That would be very difficult, and he literally just got there. They're not going to give him the Ethan Page treatment that they gave him.
I think Ricky, if he's going for a championship, now they would have to get it off Tony D, but I could see him being the North American champion. I could see that being a thing. Ethan Page shouldn't have interrupted, but Ethan's going to do that. But I thought that was cool because, like how you mentioned, they used to work in AEW together, so. That audience in NXT
blog videos,
and they made blog. I looked up a picture because I was just curious if they ever face each other, but they face each other. I think at Fight at the Fallen. I forgot what year that was. George and May says they both work together. That's what we were touching on. Jeffrey, George. I'm sorry, y'all got G's. One of y'all got to change your G because y'all confusing me. Jeffrey Reimer, I know, and I can see them having a few, but we're gonna get Wesley. My only thing with Wesley, I think he's a great first opponent for Ricky Starks or Ricky Saints. My only thing is I don't want Wesley to be that gatekeeper where when we have a new guy, the person beats him. I think Wesley just deserves the best. Because I know he's going to lose to Ricky. That's fine. Let's just not have him where every time a new guy come in and he's putting him over. We got OK Dude. Roxanne Perez is still on NXT according to WWE. I think she's going to be there until Stand and Deliver. My guess. I don't know that for sure. Chris, he says, Roxanne's on Raw. They haven't moved her yet. It's like a soft call-up, I'm going to say. That's something what EC would say. Ricky Saint is based on where he's from, which is New Orleans. Okay, there's some backgrounds to that. Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Ricky would beat Cody. Jesus, this guy, Ricky, apparently, according to Delvin Butts, Ricky is just beating everybody. Everyone say hi to Delvin Butts. He has the call. He knows it. Ricky's saying, let's see how it goes. I agree, George. Just gave it. Kelly Ray Elbafire, thank you for that example. Ray Phoenix, I heard that he's leading AEW. I'm going to say AEW because I have no problem with AEW. But that's what I heard. And he should let him go because they don't want to have to do. They don't want to do anything with him. So we might as well.
They are giving him very poor treatment, and they're not taking care of him properly, and they're using the excuse that they can't understand what he's saying. If you've had somebody in for quite some time, you should be able to understand what they're saying. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Who's this? This guy really?
You have Penta over there, and I'm sure Penta has a thicker accent when he's speaking English than Ray Phoenix ever did.
I'm ready for Mello and Wesley to tag team on the main roster. Okay.
Nothing against that. Nothing against that. But Wesley is doing fine on his own, being a solo competitor, and Melo's doing fine being a solo competitor. I don't think they necessarily have to team together.
This is my nephew. This is the one that actually have respect for me. Shout out to you. Hi. And he's laughing. We got Charmaine who says hello. Hi, Charmaine. It's always great to see you. It's Delvin. Oh. All right. I like the name better. I thought I was creative, but whatever. It's okay. Oh, apparently the chat want to correct me. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Earlier, but I just figured you were just going with it just to make the guy mad. So
I make everyone mad. Roxanne Perez could compete on NXT and Raw just like Dragon Lee. Yes, he can. He can for the time being.
Did in NXT that much ever since he got called up. So
I did enjoy
LW are currently beating up New Day.
I wasn't a fan of that. Dragon. He makes me so mad. And I like real quick. Delvin, he says I'm here because I want to be here, and we appreciate you for being here. You have your takes. Get your name right. I will give it the college try, but there is no promises.
Well,
go on.
Devin.
It's not Delvin. How he says it? What's that? Devil?
Devin?
Devin?
Yeah.
I was saying that.
You said Delvin.
I don't want.
That's why everybody kept correcting you. It's Devin, not Delvin.
Oh.
But it's okay. Everybody loves you, even if you have your little moments where you don't necessarily say the right name or mispronounce it or don't say it completely correct. It's fine. Everybody still loves you.
I hope so. If that's true, let's get some taco emojis going because I could go for a taco. Please. What we got here?
Well, we have the No Quarter Catch crew interrupting Fraxy while they're having their interview. Mm-hmm. And they're saying that they want to have a challenge for the tag titles. And Nathan says, look, just because Inamura and Briggs got a title match doesn't mean you guys are going to get one automatically just for winning. And he says, Miles says, they want to challenge the best team, the greatest tag team in the world. Possibly overall, like everywhere in the world, period, point blank. Possibly in history. And Nathan's saying, like, yeah, well, that's us. But Tavion Heights looks dead in that camera and challenges the Hardy Boys for the championship next week.
Isn't NXT fun to watch? Because we're getting some fun matchups here. No Quarter Catch crew, Hardy Boys.
We're getting Jeff Hardy back on our TV since Jakara.
It's been a minute. Matt left in 2020, and I want to say Jeff 2021. So it's nice. It's going to be cool to see the Hardys. I mean, let's go. I'm for it. I am totally for that. So let's go.
Well, we get a quick little moment where Ricky Saints is walking backstage and he gets into the room and he sees pretty much the entire tag division wiped on the floor, which we can take a wild guess who did that. He says, this place is crazy.
I honestly chuckled with that because
you would want to say female dogs be crazy with that one.
Round of applause for Sabrina Estella. She took this PG thing seriously. We got a note on how to speak proper, and she said, "No problem. Good job, Sabrina Estella." And good job to the chat as well. I see those Taki emojis, and I love it. We're going to have a Taco Tuesday one day. We got to really make that a thing. Taco Tuesday, you bring your taco, your chicken, your fish. If you like vegan tacos, duck tacos, come on, let's get this going. That's why I love this chat. I look always forward to talking wrestling with you guys and mentioning tacos. Let's go. No, Jacob, you're not on my good side, Jacob. You messed up. Go ahead.
Well, there's so many ways you can make tacos, whether it be normal meat tacos or vegetarian or vegan version. I remember when I improvised me black bean and potato tacos for family once.
Ooh,
I enjoyed it.
That sounds good. Damn
it
good.
Was. But speaking of things that didn't turn out so well, we had Channing Sex Lorenzo versus Shawn Spears, which match was fine. I didn't dislike the match. I mean, watching Shawn Spears in the ring is the only time I'm entertained when I'm watching him because, frankly, his promo work kind of bores the crap out of me. And with Izzy joining this faction, which I had a feeling she was going to do from the get-go, now she'll probably be...
You called it. You trust her from the get.
A big guy, even if you paid her $1 million because she's too good at being the bad guy. Yes. And, I mean, a la Death Valley Driver... Shawn Spears got the win, and we saw Adriana and Izzy staring each other down, and Adriana looked like a chihuahua on a leash ready to go and fight the big German Shepherd dog that was right in the corner.
There's definitely a size difference between the two. I mean, look, I can't sit here and tell you anything major about this match. I mean, it was there. I'll be honest with you guys. I was cooking. I'm hoping I'm not burning my salmon because that would suck very much so. But, yeah, I mean, it made sense for Shawn Spears to get the W here. He's going to be feuding with Tony D'Angelo. He can't go in here losing. If he goes in here losing, then what the hell are we even doing here? And I think this also...
I mean, Roxanne was the one that got pinned on Vengeance Day during the main.
I called that. I said that Roxanne Perez should be the one to eat the pin. Cora's been taking a lot of pins. You don't have to have Cora do that all the time. And then you have Cora. She's going for that TNA Knockouts Championship. She shouldn't be taking it out. Roxanne could do it. She's on her way out of NXT to go to the main roster. That's fine.
But they had her win her qualifier match 2 days after. So, I mean, anything's possible.
But it's fine. Roxanne, she just came off this long run as the NXT Women's Champion. So
I'm not saying Shawn Spears should have lost. I'm just saying it could have happened, and he probably could have been the one to take Tony D down and wind up getting the North American Championship off of him still.
But I feel, and I hear you. I feel like that would have been a disservice though to him because I mean he loses and he's getting a shot at Tony D and he's losing. But I also sit here and go with this part too. There's a story I feel like still with Stacks. I mean there was this thing where he was teasing Tony D and maybe eventually he gets jealous because it's like. Tony D was able to always fix the problem, but he's and the what's his name? The Underboss. He can't do it. So I think there's a story there. That's his nickname, right? Because I heard him say that as I was in the kitchen.
I mean, that's always the right hand man in the mafia, the Underboss. But
yes,
speaking of interesting things, we get Lexus King and Moose running into him backstage, and Moose is chatting all buddy, kind of discussing like how they've worked together before or something like that, like they have. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you have. I've seen a video before of you teaming with Moose in a tag match at an indie show. But
okay.
He says that he beat the CRAP out of JDC last week.
Oh, come on, Sabrina. You can say crap.
No, I cannot, apparently. Apparently, we have to keep things PG around here.
Oh, shit.
But the way he confronted Obafemi, he admits that the system definitely has the cojones to do so. And Moose says that he is tired of all this nonsense that is coming out of Lexus King's mouth, which is coming out of the mouth that's surrounded by that spray-painted beard. But that if you wanted a shot at the X Division Championship, all you had to do was ask, not try to talk circles around, try to beat around the bush, try to just be vague about it. Like, what did you want him to do? To punch you in your face and then say, I want your belt? Like, we put our belts on the line or our titles on the line when we're fighting y'all, but y'all don't do the same thing. And that's why Moose said if you wanted a title shot, all you had to do was ask. But if you want a shot next week, you got it. And I'm going to destroy you like I destroyed everybody over in my roster. And Lexus is like, you really going to put the title on the line in my hometown where I'm beloved and I've never lost? And Moose says, yeah. I'm like, beloved by who? The only person you could be beloved by is your girlfriend, who was in NXT, wasn't used on TV, and then got let go and is now doing her thing in the indie scene. Shout out to Carolina Cruz. So, sweetie, nobody loves you. Nobody loves you in NXT but yourself. And nobody loves you outside of NXT besides your girlfriend, except for people who come to you at the shows when they see her and see you in the audience so they can say it.
Real quick, I'm going to get into the chat. Said he asks, are you getting 2K25?
Well, I need to buy me a PS5 first, and those things are not cheap, so.
No, they're not. George says, Jeffrey Ryan, what are your thoughts about Jakara Jackson being in 2K25? So they're having a conversation. No, I know he didn't say this about Jakara, but because it's the timing of this, but I'm pretty sure he was talking about Izzy. That Bill. Oh, he did say Izzy. I'm sorry, I misread that. My bad. We got Izzy. So boring. Damn. We got George. You kidding?
Name, like basically giving her a middle name like they gave to Seth Rollins.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. George. He says, George, you kidding me? I love it that Jakara is in the game. I know
some of you are probably gonna make her a manager for you.
I bet you guys.
He says he's gonna make her enhancement talent.
Seth is not a fan of Jakara. Jeffrey says he's a hater.
The only difference is Seth is being PG about it, whereas Dice will happily say that Jakara reminds him of a Triple X actress.
Oh Lord.
We've said it before.
We got George saying Shawn Spears boring to him. Delvin, or is it Delvin? WWE 2K25 is like WWE. What do you? No, that's not even true. What did you just collapse on the keyboard and just made up words? He's laughing at Reimer. He's laughing. Everyone's laughing. We're all laughing. They're setting up Bayley versus Roxanne Perez possibly at Mania. It's possibly that or either Stand and Deliver. I'm not even sure at this point, but possibly. We got Seth who also chimes in and says Bayley versus Roxanne is Mania pre-show. They better not have that. I'm sure that's going to be on the card. I couldn't see that being a pre-show match. Jakara absolutely should be in the video game. I'm glad that we made that clear. Weird. Entertainment is PG. This is the boss speaking here. We got George who said Bayley versus Roxanne at WrestleMania is on the card. I agree. Wrestling is PG-13. We got Jeffrey. I'm loving this. Moose putting his TNA X Division title on the line next week. I can't wait. Yeah, we got to wait a whole another 7 days. We got I'm so sorry, Said. We got Good Chris in the chat. Ober is going to team. Who told you that? What is your source on that? Because I thought he was an NXT guy.
The dirt sheet that said that may or may
not. Real quick. That's greater than because I really failed math. That's greater than, right?
Yes.
Good job, Sid. Sid is officially my new best friend. Jeffrey, you're just gonna have to settle.
Wrong on that.
Huh?
I said he's not wrong. I'm more entertained watching JC as far as like in the ring and promo work. I feel like Jakara still has some work to do.
This Sid guy is fantastic.
She's improved, but I feel like she still has a little bit more work to do.
And Ober will come out after and say, "Me and you, 1-on-1." Jeffrey, if you're gonna say, you gotta say the Great Disrespect Act. The Great Disrespect Act. But good job use on the word. I love it. Sed says George. No! I feel like someone's gonna call me and tell me stop making so much noise. WWE has already plans for Roxanne Perez and Bayley at WrestleMania 41. Good Chris with the information here. I didn't know that. And lovely, she says, good night, friends. My old lady eyes can't hold on. Thank you for being here, madam. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Have a great night. We'll see you hopefully for next week. What else do we have going on here? I think we pretty much ran through this chat. What else do we got going on here, madam?
Well, we have your least favorite parts of the night. We have Kale and Uriah trying to give Andre Chase a pep talk, and that he is almost fired up and almost gets like fully encouraged. But he tells them to stay in the back while he handles this match that he didn't even fully sign up for in the first place. And
Yeah, he's gonna handle it. He's gonna handle it. The same guy who gambled the school away. Right. Okay, go. Let's go. Let's go. I can't wait.
After that, we get Eddie versus Andre, which match was good. We see we get moments where it looks like Andre Chase is getting back into the groove of things, like he's about to do a couple of things he used to do when he was still part Chase U. But I was also thinking, if you're saying Chase U is dead, why didn't you change his theme song? Because he still had the same theme when Chase U was still a thing. That's one of the things I was wondering. I was like,
he should come out with no music. I agree.
If it's dead, then why still have that music? But we had Kale and Uriah come down at some point to try to help encourage him to.
Who are these guys?
People in the back that they are using now to help progress the storyline along.
Oh,
that's my guess. And then
good guess.
Fine, but with everything that had happened, Eddie took advantage and got the win with the Impaler. And after that, we get Trick Williams cutting a promo saying he ain't done with Eddie. He's done when he says he's done with him when he says he's done. And that if he's going down, he bringing Eddie down with him.
I love when he said, I'm not finishing with you until I'm done with you. It just reminded me of Braun Strowman a few years ago when he said to Roman, I'm not finished with you. And then he ran through a ambulance door, some stuff, or some shenanigans. Yeah, Andre was going to get the L. They're really trying to heat up Eddie. And look, he's going to get his rematch against Trick. Trick is going to beat him. And Trick has to beat him before he goes and face, because that's the match, right? At Stand and Deliver. We're going to have Trick going against Obar. He got to go into that strong. So he's going to get his win back. Eddie's going to go spiral out of control. And
I just have one question.
Sure, what we got?
Where is Thea Hale?
I don't know. Maybe she's burning someone else's house down for arsony. I swear to God, I think that's what she does.
I don't think she's done that. But anyways, we had Ricky walking around backstage with Ava talking about his experience and everything, like trying to see like how she handles the craziness because it's not something he's used to. She's like, well, it's a little crazy, but you do get used to it eventually. It's just like it's kind of a norm, basically. And then you get Ethan Page coming up complaining about Devon. Wesley comes up to talk trash ahead of the match. And Ava tells him to calm down, to basically yells at him to be quiet. And Devon comes from behind with security holding him back. And she turns the match that Wes and Ricky were going to have into a tag match. So we're going to go Wesley and Ethan. My top two of my wrestling crushes for men. Catch that video. We still have it on our channel. Versus Devon and Ricky Saints. And we get the Hardy Boys responding to the No Quarter Catch crew and accepting their challenge. And they invite Fraxium for a front row seat so that way they can show them why they are the greatest tag team in all of space and time, and how much of an impact they've made and how much of an impact they will continue to make.
I gotta say, next week's show is just gonna be so much fun seeing the Hardys back in action and look like they're setting something up to with them and Fraxium. So I'm excited about it, man. That's gonna be fun. They're not gonna be in Florida. They're gonna be in
Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's gonna be it's a lucky crowd there, man. Real quick before we get, because I'm pretty sure it's the main event. Let's just get into the chat real quick. Oh, Andre is going to be back. But do we want that? I hope so, Reimer.
I would like them to not be sad, but I won't.
I do.
I don't know if they're going to rebrand it as Chase U or just have them do something else.
You know, honestly, we didn't even get to talk about this as much, but I did love that Booker T kept ranking on, just ratting on Andre. He talked about his shoes. And
they even had to keep asking, like, what's so funny? You were at the commercial break. What's so funny and all that?
I love that. I thought that was so. He kept laughing. Even at one point, he said, "This is the same guy who gambled his school." Come on, like I said, Book, keep talking. Don't listen to two first name Vic Joseph and Graves of the Quarry, please.
I mean, Corey was kind of agreeing with him at some point. So.
Oh, then listen to the Graves of Corey. I'm sorry. I will buy God of War for Sabrina. Do you like God of War? Because he's gonna
I've
buy
never
God.
even played God of War, so I'm just surprised at that comment.
That was wait until you get further into the comments because this guy goes to spiral into madness. Andre can't afford new music. Trick Williams, Dark Side. They set up Andre up to fail. Good.
They gotta keep giving momentum to Eddie for a bit.
I love that. Here's the wild comment right here. I wanted to put up so everyone can see it. Andre the Giant would be ECW champion if he didn't pass. Okay. Delvin is the one with the facts here. Y'all should be listening to us. Listen to Delvin because he would have been an ECW champion. He would have just chokeslammed on Tommy Dreamer through the ring and it would have exploded. He probably would have hit New Jack with a crowbar and he would have knocked him out of the arena. Delvin is the fat king right here. Ethan Page was in AEW. Oh,
we had.
Oh wow! Holy, this Delvin.
Thank you for informing us.
This Delvin guy is just he's on fire right now. I would try to put water on you, but I don't think I have enough water to put you out. Jeez, that is fantastic. We got said Andre Chase lucky to survive the round of cuts. Trick with his hair down looked menacing. He did look like he was on his dark side. I promise I can read. Review Raw.
We're happy that you're here to watch our product, but we don't review Monday Night Raw. We have a team of
we do have a show though.
New hosts on our unpopular family that does Monday Night Raw reviews after Raw is off the air. So if you want to watch, just wait till they come on the air. But
right after Raw goes. And they're some great hosts. So please check out the Monday Night Raw review show if you are very interested in Monday Night Raw. I heard that Thea will return soon. We have says Thea and Riley are in catering. Thea
has to be sad. His girlfriend got let go from.
Well, they're married now, right?
Got let go from the main roster.
Right. She got let go.
I think she's gonna be happy doing her own thing now. I mean, she did do her hair change, so now it's not black and yellow, black and blonde. It's now black and pink.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thea's slightly getting repackaged. We got Ricky Saint and Javon are going to win next week.
Of course they are.
NXT will be stacked next week, right? And we're going to be here to talk about it, so you should be here. The Rock will win WrestleMania. Holy, just
oh my God, is that really going to happen? Is it like the
worst? No, I can't with you. I can't with this guy. This guy, Rock, will win. Like, was he winning at Mania or is he winning the WrestleMania belt? What are we even talking about anymore? Lexus King hometown.
Apparently,
next week.
Common sense is not that common.
We should name it Andre U, like the Wii U. That's cool. Booker T on Stephanie move is always hilarious. Oh, it's just actually really disturbing when he does that. Booker T don't know what he's talking about. Leave Booker T alone. Booker T cracks me up. My name is Turd. His name is Turd. We got Jeffrey Rama. I love when Stephanie Vaquer does that move.
I'm sure a lot of the men that watch NXT love when Stephanie does that move. I'm sure Dice enjoys when she does that move, considering in our chat, he said that he has to readjust his top 5 wrestling crushes, which I don't blame him. Latinas do have some power when it comes to our looks.
Stephanie's a pretty girl.
That, we do have our main event in Fatal Influence versus the NXT Women's Champion Giulia, the NXT Women's North American Champion Stephanie Vaquer, and the newest member of the NXT Women's roster, Jordynne Grace. And match was great, good chemistry all around. I mean, we all know that Giulia, Stephanie, and Jordynne hadn't worked together as a team much, but they worked pretty well tonight. And of course, Fatal Influence being the solid running machine that they are in the NXT Women's division, they did their thing. I enjoyed this match. We started with women's wrestling. We ended with women's wrestling. So the women's wrestling community were winning. And I mean, you can't go wrong. The match was great. And the Here It Is driver got hit on Jasmine Nix. So this one can say that JC Jane technically did not lose tonight. But JC did get some good moves in, and so did everybody else. So you can't be mad about that.
I don't want to talk about it. Poor JC. You know, these. I don't even have it in me, guys. It's just no, George. Technically, you lost.
He just likes riling you up and making your blood pressure go.
And he's done a fantastic job doing that because that was awful. I'm mourning right now. I'm sad, and that's the best you got. You. I don't want to talk about it, man. I'm hurt.
But after that's over, when we get the baby faces standing tall with Jordan eyeing both the NXT Women's North American Championship and the NXT Women's Championship belts, after that, we cut to the parking lot where we see some people heading over towards their car, and we see Ava Raine heading into a room where Robert Stone is laid out unconscious with the words, "No one is safe," spray painted onto the wall, and that NXT had ended exactly like that. So we all know that it's basically the same guys that had attacked Fraxim and Obafemi at the PLE this past Saturday.
Oh, 100% it's them. Let me ask, how you feeling about this group? I know it's only been Saturday and tonight, but thus far, how are you feeling about this? Are you getting Retribution vibes off this?
No, because Retribution didn't seem like much of a threat, even with the whole hacking thing. These guys seem like an actual threat. And I think they'll work better than when Schism was still a thing over in NXT. Because everybody knows how it ended for that group. The only one that's still there is now general manager. And apparently has no memory of what happened at that time.
Well, good. Although I didn't really have a problem with Schism, Dyad, however you wanted to call them. I didn't really have a problem with them. Real quick, let's hop into these chats real quick before we call it a night. Jeffrey, he says he's sorry, and so am I. And it really was unfair when you put Jordynne Grace, who never misses leg day, Giulia, and Stephanie Vaquer as a team. It was very unfair. So I agree with Jeffrey. Jeffrey understands. Hashtag justice for JC. We got this guy here. Jack has Sonic on his dresser. Yes, I do. It's right back
Really?
there.
I didn't know. I didn't know that was Sonic. Are you sure about that?
No, it's Crash Bandicoot, apparently. No, that's what happened. JC Jane lost.
Really? I thought it was Spyro.
I hate Spyro. I hate him.
I liked playing the video game when I was a kid. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's all right. And you know what? I'm going to make a time machine, and I'm going to remove that from a young Sabrina Estella and say, hey, play this. And if you say
Crash Bandicoot as a kid, so
Crash Bandicoot was ridiculously hard as a give it. It's really, it's not for the weak of heart. No lie. Help me out here, Sabrina. Is he saying Mario is better than Sonic?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Butts.
I think he's just trying to make your blood pressure go through the roof like George.
Oh, he's doing a fantastic job. Good job, Delvin Butts. JC Jane calls Colin Finley the NXT woman. Was that true? I really didn't see that. I don't believe that at all. Bro, what?
I mean, when I was watching the match was fine. They tried helping out every now and then, but eventually Stephanie wipes her and Jasmine Nix out to make sure that she won the match cleanly against Fallon.
George says, Jeffrey, I can see Jordynne Grace going for the NXT Women's Championship.
She did good. 8 title defenses before passing the torch over to Stephanie.
You know, asking what title she's going for, but I almost feel like it's too soon because I can't see neither one of these girls.
For her to go for the main title.
But see, here's the thing: if she goes for Giulia, I just don't see her lose. I don't see Giulia dropping the title. And here's the other thing too: I just don't see Jordynne Grace losing so quickly. I mean,
she's not going to lose quickly. They're just going to take some time to build to that. So.
Oh, so you're saying it's not going to be a standard deliver? That's something later on in the year. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, it'll be too soon. We don't need to give her the same treatment that they gave Ethan Page and have him win about 40 days after he got there.
Yeah, we got Jeffrey who says, I am getting Shield vibes and aces and eights. I can see the aces and 8 a little bit. Not so much the Shield, but I can see aces and 8s. We got this guy who says Jordynne Grace can win the NXT title because she's married. That's the reason why she's going to win the title, because she's married here.
Because she's married to a man and she happens to be strong.
That doesn't even work for WWE, mind you.
That's interesting.
We got Me Too George. We got said, I don't think Jordynne Grace stays in NXT long to win. See, that's interesting. A lot of people were thinking that she would be called up to the main roster, and I was starting to believe that myself. But
She did more work in NXT, which is why I think they had her be in NXT. So I wasn't surprised when I saw her come into NXT.
Fair enough. Good Chris says good night to the both of us. Have a good night, Chris. Enjoy the rest of the night. Said I can see that happening. Good show, Jack, and beautiful Sabrina. Well, thank you. I think you was trying to work us up a lot, and you did a fantastic job. So thank you for the compliments. And we got Jordynne Grace is going to be in NXT for a little before she goes to the main roster. One of my thoughts about Jordynne Grace, because I was thinking she was going to the main roster, I was thinking that you could put her in that storyline because I just believe Naomi is the one who attacked Jade Parker. I'm messing up my Jade Cargill. I'm so sorry, guys, mixing up my Jades. And I was like, well, you could add her. You could add Jordynne Grace in there because she's a powerhouse. And I was thinking those things, and it could be a tag match, but obviously we're not going to be hitting that. But that was a thought of mine once upon a time. We got this gent here says, will Obafemi win the chamber? He's not even in the chamber, dude.
He's not in the chamber match.
Yeah, how could he?
He's not in the chamber match. I mean, for someone who's been spewing out facts all night.
Yeah, this is the one time you messed up, bro.
He's not even in the chamber match.
Yeah. Do you know something that we don't know? Are you watching this from an alternate time? But listen, that's the shit.
Where when Edge hit Kofi Kingston at the last minute and put himself in an elimination chamber match, are we gonna have Obafemi do the same thing to Cena?
I wouldn't want to
have
his
very last chamber match.
This right here, George. That's why I was thinking it would have been cool if it was Jordynne Grace. Like you could have got a tag match with Jordan, and this is the history between Jordan and Naomi from their TNA run. So I was thinking, oh, we could do that, and there's a tag match.
That moment in the Royal Rumble where they hugged and Bianca.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
That right there, that part right there, where she's like, "Yo, what?" Like that part, yes. Oba is the best in NXT. I only know him. He needs to win the chamber. Well, he's not going to win the chamber. He will be sticking with NXT for a little while.
He's not part of. I mean, unless you want him to be as petty as AJ Styles did when he flew several hours just to mess with LA Knight in his chamber match. Oh,
that was actually hilarious. That was last year, right?
Yes.
Because everything ranks up to goes together. That's the show, guys. This is an Unpopular Review, NXT review show. We always appreciate you guys in the chat. It means a lot to us. Once again, hit that like button. If you are watching on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that heart button, share it into your wrestling group chats. Let's talk some wrestling. YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It means all the world to us. Same thing on Twitter. Like it, share it, please. And that's all the stuff. And also because I just don't know what they do on Twitch. So, like, if you're on Twitch, thanks. But we have shows here. So let's talk about these shows. We have a few shows. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look for these graphics. I'm so terrible at this. Where the heck are these graphics? And why are there so much pictures here? Did they delete the graph? I think they delete these graphics. I can't remember. Anyway, let's just do it because we don't have a whole thing. Oh shit, this is new.
We have the Mike Knox show at 6 p.m. on Mondays for the intelligent wrestling fan, as well as Monday Night Raw with Stephen Willie Beeman, the EC, and Big Daddy Cool. And next Tuesday with the NXTrio, myself, Great Grandson Pooba, and Frecklesensei. And then you also have All Elite Women and Friends on Wednesday after Dynamite with Cactus, Katie, and Sheriff, with whoever they have joining them. And you also have the SmackDown Penitentiary review shows of Friday Night SmackDown on Saturday afternoons at noon or 1 o'clock with the Wardens of Vic and Dice.
I gotta say, that graphic was fantastic. So shout out to the UPR graphic team on that. Fantastic job and fantastic work as always. Just getting to a little bit in the comments right here. We got Jeffrey says, I'm sticking with Naomi. Same here. And we got George. What if Bianca and Jade Cargill planned it? It was all fake to try to blame Naomi. I don't like that idea.
What benefits would they have from faking Jade's attack and blaming it on Naomi? What benefit would they have? And also, if they were to reveal something like that this month of all months, we're going to be mad at them just like we're mad at AEW when they decide that now is their time to actually be nice to their talents of color and give them championship runs, except for a couple years back when they took it away from the Acclaim, they gave it to the Gun Club.
I was never big on the Acclaim.
Well, I mean, they did split up, so.
They did. Yeah, George, if you could explain the reason of why you booked it like that, because I'm just interested in it, but I'm not a fan of it, but I'm interested in picking your brain on why you would think that. Jeffrey said it could be Naomi and Bianca. No, I just think it would be Naomi. I'm trying to figure out how Naomi would get Jay Cargo. Jay Cargo is a beast. I would be, figuring that piece out.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that she did it, although it is a possibility. Don't ever underestimate the smaller talents as opposed to those that are like can be seen as powerhouse and beasts. I mean, we also had Alexa Bliss to Nia Jax.
Okay.
We saw what Rey Mysterio has done with talents that are much taller and bigger and stronger than him.
No, I have not. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I know you don't like Rey, but he is a prime example for this case.
I don't want to hear any of this.
But that is our show.
Thank you. Real quick, we got Delvin. He's saying this: Sasha Banks will win the women's chamber match. I'm just
somebody who's not even relevant in WWE anymore and holds 4 championships in other companies is going to win the women's chamber match, even though she is nowhere in. And this one just wants to make comments to make us upset, but such as saying that he does not care about women's wrestling and that it should not be on WrestleMania. Would you like to go back to the time of the 90s during the Ruthless Aggression era where women's wrestling was only for like 2 seconds? If you would like that, go find yourself a time machine and you can do that. That's all else doesn't matter. If you don't like women's wrestling, then there's people that tune in to watch women wrestle more than men. So
I don't know what the hell's going on in the chat, but there's a war going on.
I think they're just people that enjoy watching other people get mad and riled up and just want to say things.
You know what? And we're
get us mad and riled up.
And we're gonna.
And as long as we don't fight back the way they want, then so be it.
I don't know what the hell is going on, but I am thoroughly sports entertained here. Wrestling Doll, you have a YouTube channel. It is growing. It's fantastic stuff. Please tell the lovely people listening, watching, and fighting where they can find all this stuff.
Well, for those that enjoy watching wrestling, not just men's wrestling, but women's wrestling as well, and those are the ones that do more well on my channel versus men's wrestling, you can follow my channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, on YouTube, where you can watch wrestling throughout Central Florida and occasionally south that I travel to and record said matches. I have my videos from MegaCon from 2 weeks ago that I was at. So be on the lookout for give those a watch and watch other videos that I have. And I will say, I met Matt Cardona on Sunday, and my Chelsea Green cosplay was always readily approved.
Fantastic. Great stuff. Please. There's a link to her YouTube. So if you guys have not subscribed to it, do it. What are you doing? I have an audio podcast. It's called the Big Pop Theory Podcast. We took a break this week, but we should be back this upcoming week. And it's going to be glorious because, last week Shay Sawyer was in the comments and she said something about JC Jane having a conversation with the Matt. But meanwhile, Finn Balor, who
has been having conversations like that with the Matt ever since his
shoulder
2 wins here and there.
No, his shoulder has been in a committed relationship with that Matt for many, many months. So I sat here and I looked forward. When I saw that Finn Balor lost, I sent a laugh to Shay Sawyer. I don't know how I'm still breathing here, folks, but I am.
I mean, you literally put out justice for JC hashtag. She's going to do the same thing. Hashtag fight for Finn.
No, it's not even. No, it's like Diet Coke. No, please. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. And if you like Diet Coke, absolutely not. But please subscribe to the Big Pop Theory Podcast. We are on Apple, Spotify, and there's a bunch of other ones that I'm just not super familiar with. But it's a fun listen. It's a fun watch. And we bring the same energy that we do here, over there, because we talk wrestling. It's literally we hit the record button and you're just hearing us conversate. So we thank you for listening to us here. Yeah, Seth is like 10-1. They've faced each other 11 times, and I didn't realize that many times. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Like 9-1. You can go back. I don't know what the hell is going on here. Let me speak.
I think the chat is just having fun, so I think we should just be for the rest.
Hey, listen, guys, we appreciate all you guys. Oh, we have a Patreon.
Do not forget, we still have our little subscription for Patreon, where you can go ahead and also enter your chance to win a Adam Copeland t-shirt. So every subscriber is going to get an entry, and all you got to do is just subscribe to get 2 entries, so that way you can win your t-shirt. And just remember, UPR does love you.
We do.
And
Come
he
on,
shows
Gwen.
by hitting that cowbell.
Oh, what's that you guys said? More cowbell? Can't do it because time is up. So we thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Tune in tomorrow for AEW.
For all Elite Women and Friends after AEW Dynamite.
It's a great watch. You guys should tune in, and we'll see you guys next week for some more NXT talk. So you guys can argue in the comments because we're going to be going. So bye, folks.